Hi everyone, this is Ana Luisa speaking here from Some Studio Milano. I'm here with Marlon.
Hi everybody.
Today we are taking part in the Dutch Design Week 2020 with our series Back to Materials, a series about biomaterials in collaboration with Isola.design District. Today our first guest is Laura from Studio LVDW. Atelier LVDW. Welcome, Laura. Hi, Laura.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for taking part in the talks. We are very happy to have you here. How are you today, first of all?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
We are great, thank you. So we have some questions here for you, but before we start, please introduce yourself, your background, field of research, so people can get to know you a bit more.
All right. Well, my name is Laura. I'm living and working in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. And I studied at the Willem de Koning Academy at the Lifestyle Design Department. And I graduated in 2016. And this is also where my fascination for material design started during those studies. And since then, I'm working on a lot of material experiments in my own studio. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay, great. And so to start with the questions, could you please explain us what are biomaterials, and how did you become interested in biomaterials?
Well, biomaterials are materials that have a natural source or are made from living organism. So a lot of the materials I create are bio-based materials. They consist out of a natural source partly, and sometimes also partly from another material. And during my graduation year, I did a large research on bioplastics, and I think this is where, those were the first time I started experimenting on biomaterials, which was super interesting because you can create your own recipes, and it's super fascinating that you can create your own materials. So that's a bit how it started.
I see that. Yes, it's very interesting. And did you think you have a support within your university to experiment, to research?
We had different kind of material labs. Back then, it was not specifically on biomaterials, but more like you had the wood working place, a ceramic place, a metal place. So you could experiment with a lot of different materials. But eventually, the biomaterials, I explored them by myself by doing a lot of research and tests. So this is how I learned some basics within biomaterials.
I see. And we see in your atelier that you are focused on sustainable materials and circular materials. So could you please show us some of these materials if you have some samples there, and explain a bit to us?
Yeah, definitely. I have some samples of the eggshell material. I created this during, I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, we can see.
It's super flat and it's pretty strong, but of course not super strong. And
but it seems very light.
No? Yeah, it is light. Yes, that's really cool. Because the first time I did this experiment was during the material designers workshop. It was a competition and event series in Barcelona. And we had to choose one food waste material and had to bring that to Barcelona. And I chose for the eggshell, and we had the opportunity to experiment 3 days long with this material. So I had a lot of different kind of results, and we had to choose one of the results that you find most interesting. And this is another sample. It's actually made with the same recipe, but with it's not the fine powder that you get from the shell. So I thought this was the most interesting results because you can get different. You can get a very different look, and it has a little bit of a ceramic-like feeling. So.
And in terms of application, these materials that you just show us, the samples, Which kind of applications could you use this?
Well, for me, because this material is, eggshells are also used as a nutrition, also for the soil. So I thought, like, this is already a very nice second life for this material, and I wanted to keep that. So it was not logical for me to create a product out of this sort of biodegradable waste stream. And it's not logical for me to make a product that then isn't biodegradable anymore. So
true.
I created this recipe that it's still possible to give it back to nature. It's still a disposable thing. So my idea is to make disposable plates out of this material that you can use on events when events are back finally.
Yes.
But instead of using a paper or carton plates, you can also use this because.
That's very smart, because events, they produce a lot of waste, right? And
definitely.
It's a very short period with so much waste, with the single-use plastic, for example.
So I always look at what kind of material is it and what is the most logical way to create a product out of this. So,
I see. And talking about materials, we really like your approach to biophilic materials and all products that are associated with this concept. So could you please also explain a bit more about these concepts and also about these products, the biophilic light, and the humid nature?
All right. Yes, the biophilic design approach actually started in my graduation year when I did a lot of research about this. And it's about using elements from nature and putting them into an interior, like materials like wood, for example. And this has certain benefits on humans because you can create a very serene atmosphere. And I think that's such a wonderful thing. So I wanted to see in what kind of way you can also use biomaterials in this same approach. So I can show you the Biophilic Light project. Moment.
There are a lot of research lately about well-being related to biophilic interiors, and bringing nature inside the homes is very important.
Especially these days.
Yes.
When we go through lockdowns and social distance.
Yeah, definitely. Because I've been interested in this fact for many years actually, and. But it's also because we live indoors so much.
More than ever.
Are indoors. So what you see here is the result of the biophilic light. And I used this was a bioplastic I created, and I colored it with green earth. And I really liked the fact that it's translucent. So I thought, let's make a lightning design out of this. And I showed it at the Dutch Design Week in 2016. And it was really nice to get responses because people really had association with a natural material or had association with the forest and that kind of thoughts. So that was really nice.
Well, nice. We saw that you have a shop on your website. This is available if someone
is interested. It's available.
With this project, I keep it more as a conceptual project to show this might be possible to create with, but I noticed that some biomaterials are pretty difficult to really bring on the market and sell commercially. So this is why I also like to work with different kind of materials. And also I'm also working with plasters or other kind of materials that are easier to create a product that works. So, but I really want, it's still on my goal to create an improved version of this biophilic light project that can be sold and that you can also put in your house. So.
Yeah, I really hope you can do so. And talking about this, for you, what's the future of biomaterials and material research, since it's not so easy to to sell products, for a big audience, and have maybe some sponsorship. So what's the future in
Yeah,
your
yeah.
opinion?
Well, I think it is definitely a growing field, and what's very nice is that nowadays a lot of art academies are also collaborating with the universities or material scientists, and I think these collaborations are very important because for me as well, I'm not a material scientist, so I do a lot of experiments, but it's good if someone can look and see what's really the property of this material. So I think, yeah, for this to make it better in the future, those collaborations are very important.
Yeah. And we also saw that you do some projects on surfaces with biomaterials together with designers or architects or private companies. And we were wondering, for you, what's the future of biomaterials within interior design?
Well, I think there are already a lot of bio-based materials for interior use, and we see that a lot already. And I think consumers also accept that more than before. And I think for the more experimental materials, also some that I do, it will maybe take a little bit longer, as well as the living materials. But I do see this in the future that you can that you have to take care of your house, like the same
Yeah.
like you have to take care of your plants. So that's really exciting. But I definitely see this happening in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great news.
Definitely is a good start,
Yes.
To see many designers start researching and playing, because you have to create, you have to test. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And since we are talking also about collaboration, for you, what's the role of collaboration in your work?
Well,
Like how important it is?
it is definitely important because, to be honest, a lot of work what I do is individually, and but it's so nice to talk to someone about what you're doing, and it really helps me further. And I'm working on some collaborations where I can scale my work up a little bit, and that's really nice because those companies have a different approach than I do, and together we can make the product better. So those collaborations are important. It's really helpful, and I learn a lot out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do these collaborations happen? I mean, do you go after the companies, or they go after you, or they tell you that they need a solution that is, X or Y, whatever, and how does it work, more or less?
Well, it depends a little bit on what kind of collaboration, or sometimes I also create products for private clients, and then it's more like a custom-made product. So it's different than when I'm also working with a design label, and actually most of the collaborations I had now, people approach me, maybe because I saw something on social media, or so. But of course, I'm open also to go to a company if I have an idea to collaborate. So, yeah.
I see. Okay. And we also want to talk with you about the role of designers. Like nowadays, we see that designers are a bit of alchemists and activists, that they want to explore and research and share their findings in order to also to raise awareness about a sustainable future, a sustainable market. How do you see yourself within this context? Do you see yourself also as an alchemist or activist?
Yes, it is something that it's like some kind of growing trend. To be honest, I do not see myself as an activist. I think I see myself more as a material enthusiast that's like to and choose others by sharing the experiments I do. So this is also why I created the toolkit, so people can can work on those materials for the first time, and
Yeah,
make
and
them
this also,
interested.
yeah, actually, the next question was going to be is about actually the kit that you create. It's called Biomaterial Design Kit, right?
Yeah.
That you sell in your online shop. We really like it. And if you could also explain a bit about that, because I think this is so nice because it also helps people to explore, as you are saying, and also maybe to engage with this cause, of researching new materials for a
Yeah.
sustainable future,
Yeah,
So if you could
definitely.
talk a bit about the kit, or if you have the kit there with you to show us.
Okay, well, I have some parts of the kit and also some results you can
Okay,
make out of it. Um,
nice.
this is one material. It's
Mhm.
algae-based bioplastic with foam, and you get a very
Ah,
soft material. And if people are willing to experiment on the same recipes, you can also create this. It's the same recipe, but you get
mhm.
more like a thicker material. And I started actually, I had this idea actually in the beginning of the pandemic when,
Mm,
of course, everyone had to stay at home. And
yeah.
I saw this sort of a trend that people were being super creative at their homes.
Yes.
And then I was like, okay, maybe people would like to try to create their own biomaterials. And
Mhm.
I have some more, like you get this, and you get 9 of the tubes with all the raw ingredients, and then you can, yeah,
Yeah.
it's very easy. It's even for children
Ah,
because
nice.
I measured everything, so you just put it together and mix it and cook it, and of course it's not super easy, but I made it very easy to work with. So
And
there's
which kind
enough
of
room.
response? Sorry, no, go on.
No,
You,
it's fine, thanks.
no, we were wondering which kind of responses did you have from people who bought the kit?
Well, when I just posted it on Instagram, I had a lot of very nice responses, a lot of
Mhm.
enthusiastic people, and the people that bought it, they really liked it, and they also really liked the fact that you have those tools that you can use again.
Mhm.
So, but I haven't seen their results yet, so I'm very
Oh, okay.
curious. So I'm curious
Uh,
if what they made. So
yeah, that's fun.
yeah.
Okay, and now talking about materials and innovative technology and materials, how important are innovative materials and technologies to your work?
Well, for me, I think because my work is very experimental, I do not
Mhm.
always know what kind of innovation can come out. So that's also the fun part. But for me, I think the innovation or the experiment leads eventually to the final product. So
Mhm.
that's the impact it has on my work. And
Okay.
my work is very low tech actually, but
Mm.
I could use new technologies to create like a better product. So, but it would be great to collaborate with someone that's really into this kind of new technologies, and then
Mhm.
collaborate that I have the material and they have the understanding of a new technology. So, yeah, that it could bring something much further. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah, one innovation pushing another one, and then
yeah,
yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And who or what inspires you nowadays?
Um, Well, overall, nature always inspires me,
Yeah.
and it's also the reason because it really calms my mind, and then
Yeah.
it's easier to then the inspiration pops up easily. So,
Mhm.
and at the moment, I'm working for the first time. I'm working on a color research, which is super
Mm.
interesting because those recipes are actually comparable to making recipes for materials. So I get during this process, I get super excited, and
Mhm.
then the inspiration flows easily. So
Yeah, actually, this is interesting because a lot of designers that we have been talking to, they say that their biggest inspiration is actually nature.
Nature.
Yeah.
And then when we study the circular economy, we see that everything, all the knowledge, all the information that you get when you study from the circular economy comes from nature, like the
Yeah.
way things are, that there is no waste in nature, things like that. So,
Yes.
that's the
It's the
circular
best,
design is just taking inspiration from nature as well.
yes,
So, yeah.
it is. Yeah, nice.
And we would like to know also which part of your work you enjoy the most, like is researching or prototyping or conceptualizing
Well,
or
that's
everything, maybe.
I think it's definitely experimentation, because
Okay.
it's so wonderful to start doing experiments and you don't know what comes out. And then, for example, when I was in Barcelona, I just tried so many things and I had no idea what
Mhm.
could come out. And some things were
Okay.
nothing came out, but
Okay.
you wait for a couple of days until something dried out, and then you see this beautiful material, and then you're like, okay, that's
Mm.
so cool. And then you want to
Yeah, that
experiment
must be a
again.
nice
So,
feeling.
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
most fun part for me.
Okay, cool. And nowadays, what do you think is the role of a designer in our contemporary world?
Um, yeah, for me, if I look at myself, I would like to actually to show possibilities. So to
Mhm.
maybe like maybe the things I make are already made for many years ago, like bioplastic. It exists
Mhm.
for so many years, but if you, as a designer, do something new with it or show the possibilities, then yeah, a lot of positive things can come out of that. So I think that's an important role of a designer.
So maybe bringing positive change.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And in terms of sustainability, how important is sustainability to your work?
Well, it is part of my philosophy because it is, of course, part of this biophilic thought. And
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, what I like to show with sustainability is such a big word, and for
Yeah.
me, I would like to show like the materials I make are mostly waste based, but always it's something from nature or organic waste, and
Mm-hmm.
I like to show that those materials are new natural materials, and
Mm-hmm.
um, that people admire these things, and then they get more admiration for the natural outside world, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's how I see and how I incorporate sustainability in my work. So
Yes,
yeah.
I think that if you manage to raise awareness through your work to inspire people is something already really big, because then people can start to know, okay, I see that this, is an important issue, and start to incorporate this on their daily lives and also work. So
Mhm.
to raise this inspiration is very important.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talking about waste, we invite people to take a look at your website and
Mhm.
see the tiles you made
Yeah.
Yes.
from the floors company
Yes,
waste. True.
I have
Very beautiful.
some fibers here.
Yes, let us show
This
us.
is
I love the colors
the raw
you choose.
material,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I color this, and now I'm starting this color research to only use natural colors for these fibers, and I combine these fibers with plaster, and I have an example of a
Oh,
lampshade I'm
nice.
working on, and then
Wow.
you get this effect. So inside
Seems
Very
it's
nice.
marble.
Yeah,
very rough.
like
Yeah,
marble
it's a
effect.
sort of marble. That's what I hear a lot. So that's really nice, and it's super sustainable material. So
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's very nice, very beautiful.
Yeah.
Even the video on of the project, I think it was
yeah,
Eggshell?
the Eggshell project. You did a video, right?
yes, yeah, that's true. Yep.
I was wondering if the video was recorded in your atelier or
Yes, this is
in your.
in my studio. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right
Wow,
now
very
I'm
nice.
at my home.
You have a
So
beautiful studio.
thank
Yes.
you.
We take the opportunity also to tell people to go and have a look at your website and see the videos, the products. They are really beautiful and amazing because, you know, you have all this biophilic approach and sustainable. We really, really like it.
Oh, thank you very much.
And so the last question to end up this talk, for you, what's the biggest challenge that designers face to help us shifting from a linear to a circular economy?
That's a tough question, I think. I think there are a lot of challenges.
The last one, the most difficult one.
I think it's also, for me, as I look at it as a material designer, bringing the same aesthetics and the same qualities into a material, into a circular material as in a linear material. Because I think maybe that makes it easier for consumers to make this choice. Because consumers have to change their perspective, and it takes a while before that happens. So I think it's a big challenge to bring those same aesthetics to create very beautiful circular materials and products. So that's a challenge.
Yeah, but you are doing great in this sense. Really.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. I think we reached the end of our talk. Thanks so much, Laura, for your time. We really appreciate it.
Hope to see you here in Milan.
Yes, next year.
It will be great. Thank you very much.
Eindhoven as well.
Or Eindhoven, yes, definitely.
Yes, we really hope so.
It will be normal.
Yes,
we hope.
Yeah.
And we thanks Isola as well for this, for hosting us, for this opportunity. And again, guys, go on and see Laura's Instagram and website. It's really worth it. And we will be back on next Wednesday, this Wednesday actually, with another talk. So we see you soon. Thanks, Laura.
Thank
see
you, Laura.
you. Ciao, ciao.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.